What is happiness? Well, happiness varies from person to person, and that's something that oftentimes people seek to discover or find. So let's talk just a little bit about what is happiness and what defines it,
Well, happiness for me is being married to her.
and vice
How
versa,
about
being
that one,
married
man?
to him.
That was a good one to start with. Now, happiness is really, it's more than just a state of mind. It's a state of self, right? It's emotional, it's physical, it's spiritual, it could be even financial. It's
Hmm.
all those things wrapped up. We've got to remember that happiness is more than just an emotion. It's sort of a place of peace as opposed to a place of upset or a place of chaos.
Yeah, so there's a balance of emotions, the feeling of feeling joyful, elated, thrilled, excited, and then there's also this feeling of satisfaction
Yeah.
that may be bring happiness. And that satisfaction may be with family, it may be with life endeavors, it might be with sports or athletic
Mhm.
achievements.
Yeah, so think achievement, think conquest, think victory, think something you have, like a possession, can make you happy or produce the emotion of happiness. Well, you gotta remember in time, though, that if the happiness is not sort of driven intrinsically, the extrinsic or the outside in sort of motivation of happiness is sort of temporary. Like we talk about this with employees all the time,
Mhm.
right? So employees can be motivated in both ways. You can be motivated by money, which would be extrinsic, or you can be motivated by the achievement you have inside, which is intrinsic. Like you achieve something within that makes you do really well at your job. And but happiness as a whole is something we all need to sort of have a sort of an intrinsic look at. Are we happy? If not, why not? Are we in a state of peace? If not, why not?
Yeah, so good points. So signs of happiness, they may vary from person to person, and there are a lot of different keys that might emulate someone is actually happy, like feeling like you're living the life that you always wanted.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I was doing a broadcast the other night live. It's like, what makes you happy? And I think probably some of the things that make me happy is being able to see other people achieve something that they couldn't or thought they couldn't
Hmm.
do. And we had a hand in seeing them do that. And to see that their deemed impossibility is now actually a reality, that's kind of makes me happy. And then obviously, when you tell me I'm a good husband, that makes me happy. When God affirms how much He loves me, that makes me happy, right?
Yeah, so other things like some people like to just go with the flow and they have this willingness to take life as it comes. So different than the person that is highly motivated
Yeah.
to an achievement to bring happiness.
Well, some people are risk takers, some people are risk averse, and so everybody's different. And I think a neurotransmitter that probably would be related to this is the neurotransmitter called dopamine. Now, dopamine is this thing that's produced and it's excitability. It's
Mhm.
like everybody would understand, like the dopamine rush or the runner's high or the workout high or the achievement high. Sometimes that neurotransmitter is congruent with the emotion of happiness. And so I think that, when we look at that, we've got to think about activities that also promote the generation of dopamine, which would generate achievement, which would generate at least internal happiness.
So that would be like living a life that is giving you meaning or purpose.
Right. I mean, purpose, if you're not living your purpose, you probably know it. And if you're not living your purpose, you're not on purpose. But everybody's life has a purpose. And so are we fulfilling our purpose? And if we're not, and we know it, there's going to be a feeling of uncertainty or a feeling of loss or lack in your body. So this whole idea of purpose needs to be pushed all the time. So we need to be checking ourselves in the sense that, am I doing what brings me fulfillment? And if I'm not, how can I change it to where it will? And if that doesn't work, maybe I need to consider doing something else.
Yeah, well, and if that internal happiness is there, there should be a sense of wanting to share that happiness with everybody else.
Well, there should be. I mean, I think of a simple again, back to a biblical concept, the good news of the gospel, you know. If that's good news and that makes us happy that we've got good news to share, we ought to share it. And so when we have something to share that makes us happy, we typically share it with other people. So we got to think about, even in our interactions with people, what kind of information, what kind of conversations are we sharing with them? Does our information that we share produce happiness? Does it show happiness? Does it generate happiness? Or is it the opposite? Because, you know, I think they're both addictive. You know, you can get addicted to one side, you can get addicted to the other. You could be addicted to happiness, which I think is a good addiction. Or you can be addicted to chaos,
I'd rather
which
be
is probably not
addicted to
good.
happiness and sadness.
Oh, no doubt, man.
Or grief.
Oh, but people are like that, you know. And so, but I'm not saying be overly, you know, false happy. I'm saying that, you know, to be honest about it, but we need to look at our own lives. Are we fulfilling our purpose, and are we truly living a life that produces the happiness within inside of us?
Well, and then once we reach that point, living a life with true happiness, wouldn't that bring a sense of gratitude?
I think so. I think gratitude is one of the things that we should be living with, you know, every day. Thankfulness, gratitude, satisfaction, contentment. We really need to think about how we are living those things. It's okay to want more, but it's not okay to want more and not be content with what you have.
That's a good point.
You know, because you can always be driving for something else, but not be happy with what you have. And so you then take it for granted. And that's not okay. That's like the idea the grass is always green on the other side. Not necessarily. Sometimes it's artificial turf.
Yeah. So last question is, how is happiness then different from gratitude?
Happiness, again, is a state of mind, and a state of heart, and a state of being. Gratitude is really a recognition of the good things that have been in your life, are in your life, or will be in your life. A little bit different, but I think that they go together hand in hand. I think to exhibit happiness, you probably have to understand some gratitude, and to have some happiness and gratitude together, and they go together. I think they almost fuel the fires of each other.
Well, and happiness seems to me to be the opposite of anger. Happiness would have great effects on physical health, physically, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually.
So to steal a line from the Jamaican friends, don't worry, be happy, man. Up next, our financial guru, Kirk Elliott, gives us advice on what you need to know at this time in history.
Let's get real. Most emergency food is just as bad for you as any other choice in the standard American diet. And that's just sad.
We don't just need food. We need highly nutritional food.
We don't just want to survive food shortages. We are meant to thrive in adversity.
Complete your daily nutrition and have shelf-stable Kingdom Fuel as a cornerstone of your food supply.
Don't sacrifice your health or your taste buds.
Stock up on Kingdom Fuel now.
Hello, I'm Kevin Sorbo. Now, there's an old saying, it's not what you know, but who you know that matters. Now, that's true in our careers, spiritual life, and when it comes to our health and overall well-being. Today, most of us know a lot of information about health and nutrition, but are we really doing anything with it? So here's what I've learned from working with Doctors Michele and Mark Sherwood. They're the founders of the Functional Medical Institute. You need a wellness plan that's customized based on your unique needs. Now remember, real change can only happen when you address the whole person. That is exactly what Mark and Michele do, and why they are people you should know. They'll help you discover what you need to experience transformation. Find out more at sherwood.tv/Sorbo. That's sherwood.tv/Sorbo, or just see the link below. Have a great day and God bless.
I could use your assistance.
Okay,
Jesus. Huh? My name is Jesus.
Sure. Jesus.
Jesus is here today.
You looking for a job?
Yes, sir.
You and Mark have 45 days before the bank forecloses.
Not to worry. They do not call me by God Byron for nothing. The collection plate starts to be passed around. Mark reaches into the basket and shouts, "You and your family are the winner from the first church of the lotto." Kind of think of it like a high-stakes bingo night every Sunday.
Poopy diaper!
Poopy diaper!
This video of the diaper is going viral right before our eyes.
This is a miracle.
What is?
Friends of Faith has over 300,000 followers.
Oh my dad! That's more followers than Moses had.
Jesus! Take the wheel!
Just say it.
No,
Stop
take the wheel!
I got it, buddy.